check it. What is up, guys? You are back for another video with Data Zero. In this video, we're going to look at our favorite meme stock, AMC. We're going to also look at the overall market and the potential market crash that is definitely going to come. Guys, I'm going to show you how to hedge against that, make money during the crash, and more banks are failing. We're going to get into that as well. And guys, the FTD data for AMC is absolutely insane. We have new numbers. This is absolute madness. We're going to get to all of that and more, so you don't want to miss a second of this update. So let's go ahead and hop in the charts, the facts, the data, and see what we have going on. We're back for another video with Data Zero. In this video, we're going to look at AMC, our favorite meme stock. We're going to look at Bitcoin, the overall stock market. And guys, more banks are failing. I'm also going to show you how to hedge against this crash and back it all up with proof. So let's go ahead and hop in the charts, the facts, the data, and see what we have going on. So guys, we're looking at the SPY right now. As you guys can see, the SPY had a big down day. Why? Because more banks are crashing. PacWest falls more than 20%, and there is another bank as well. So breaking news, PacWest Bank down 50% and Western Alliance down more than 20%. More banks are crashing. If you go ahead and look at this one down, it's more than 50% down, PacWest right now, and things are not looking good for the banks. Now, this is having a major effect on the markets. As you guys can see, it's pulling us to the downside. It now found a bottom, but it looks like we're going to have more downside in the future, and I'm going to explain why. So if you go ahead and look at the overall bigger time frame for the SPY, it's in a major bear flag. And if we look at the market psychology, so if you go ahead and check out the charts for the market psychology, I was explaining this. This is the complacency stage. Do not be fooled. This is a bear flag on the technicals. As you guys can see, we had a massive run up to the upside, and this is the complacency stage. You can almost put this chart over top of the S&P 500 and it will look perfect. There is a bigger downside move coming for the S&P 500 in my personal opinion. As you guys can see, we had this big move to the upside, and you guys can see that we have this bear flag forming right now, which is showing us we're going to have another move to the downside near these COVID levels. So that not only are the technicals saying it, but the fundamentals are saying it, and the psychology is saying it, that we're going to have a move to the downside. That's why people are extremely bullish right now. They're in the complacency stage. They think it's going to go back up. They think we're going to see all-time highs, but I do not believe that's going to happen. The only thing that would change my mind is if SPY shot up to all-time highs and surpassed it. We are in the complacency stage, and I do think a major crash is coming. So how can you hedge against that? Well, as you guys can see, Bitcoin is up on the day. It also has a different market structure. As you guys can see, the bull run has already happened for Bitcoin. It's already had its complacency stage, which is right here. I've been in this market. I was very involved in the Bitcoin market when it happened. It seemed like Bitcoin was going to go back up when it had this rally, but guess what? We had even more crashes. I do think Bitcoin has bottomed. As you guys can see, the technicals are showing that it's bottomed. As you guys can see, this falling wedge is showing that it had a bullish uptrend. Then we had the falling wedge, and it's going into another bullish uptrend. I talked about this for AMC, showing you guys the macro for AMC. Same thing for AMC, bullish uptrend. As you guys can see, bullish uptrend. If we go ahead and type in falling wedge, I show you this, guys, all the time, but for the people that are new, we can go ahead and show them just so they can see that I'm not talking and pulling stuff out of my head. As you guys can see, you have this uptrend, so we have this falling wedge, and then you go into another uptrend. So that is what I'm looking at for Bitcoin. It has a different market structure. It's already been in its complacency stage, and I do think it's bottomed. Also, I do think it's going to decouple from stocks. I think you're going to see that throughout become more evident as the years go on. It's going to decouple from the stocks, and I think Bitcoin is already bottomed and is going to be making a move to the upside. Also, if you go ahead and look at the technicals and the indications as well, you can go ahead and put on the super trend on the weekly time frame, and you have a buy signal on the weekly time frame. Last time that happened, we had this run up and we had this run up here, and we have green weekly MACD telling us that this is going to move to the upside. And every time the banks crash, Bitcoin pumps. So I think Bitcoin is a good way to hedge against the market crash. Now, SQQQ is another direct way to hedge against the market crash. It's the market goes down, SQQQ goes up by 3 per X leverage. So this is a great way to hedge against the crash. And me personally, just for full transparency, I am invested in SQQQ and Bitcoin. I do own both of those assets and hold both of those assets. SQQQ pays dividends as well, so you can get paid dividends while you're waiting for this to play out. Not financial advice, but this is a way to directly hedge against the crash that I think is coming. Now, another way I think is a way to hedge against the crash, but it might be a little bit more speculative, is AMC itself. I think AMC itself is to hedge against the crash because of the plumbing work or the way the stock market works and the mechanics of the stock market, that if shorts have to fail and have to capitulate, they will have to cover their positions, and then it will cause a short squeeze. And you've seen in history, like with the Volkswagen short squeeze, that during these massive recessions, during these downturns, and I've even showed it here on the channel, that the month that the market had the biggest downturn in the market, that's when Volkswagen squeeze. So I do think that the capitulation of the market will directly have effect on AMC, and we will see AMC move to the upside. Now, until that day happens, I'll cover the technical analysis day by day and show you what I'm looking at, and I'm going to get at that in a second. But this is the way to hedge against the market crash, in my personal opinion. I think it's backed up with facts. As you guys can see, market is down, banks are crashing, Bitcoin is up, SQQQ is up, and I think AMC, once the market has a severe capitulation, will see the same effect if it doesn't see it before. And again, any of these black swans, from the war, from anything, could be a potential black swan to cause AMC to take off. And again, it's not looking good for the banks. As you guys can see, more banks beginning to fall. So this is what's going on in the overall markets. Again, here's some of the altcoins. Pepe up 8% on the day. Again, not financial advice, but this meme coin is absolutely insane. I think it's going to do numbers as well. But guys, let's go ahead and look at AMC and see what we're looking at. So AMC is looking good in my personal opinion. So we had this rising wedge. We had this false break here, as you guys can see, but now we finally broke down from it, and this is the downside that I'm expecting. If we see more downside, the lowest I think AMC will come is $5, $5.25. There is a lot of support right here. As you guys can see, we have this uptrend. So this is the uptrend that we've been in. As you guys can see, we haven't even came down to test that support. So we're looking extremely bullish, and AMC is looking good in my personal opinion. I think we'll probably consolidate here in the earnings between this 550, 525 level and 575 level, consolidate in that level till earnings, and then earnings have a nice pop to the upside. In my personal opinion, I think earnings is going to be fundamentally detrimental to the shorts. I think once they've realized that they are sitting on a stock that keeps getting better and better and better each earnings, beating and beating and beating, and now sitting on a better cash position. Think about it. If you were shorts, would you want to short a company that you're paying 175% cost to borrow? Cost to borrow keeps going up and up and up. It's harder and harder and harder to get shares for that company. The company keeps improving fundamentally, and you know there's people on the other side that are buying and buying and buying, trying to drive up the price. Would you want to keep holding that? Or could you even keep holding that? Do you even have enough money to keep holding that? Shorts are losing billions, and that's why I think we are closer than ever to seeing capitulation from the shorts and seeing AMC move to the upside in a substantial manner. And I think the earnings is going to be a huge catalyst to help move that forward, as well as the court case. So once the court case comes through and they're like, hey, this reverse split is off the table or not happening, or even push down the road longer, so they have to do this longer, they will give up and capitulate. And we are in a bullish structure, as you guys can see right here, this yellow structure right here, which is this ascending triangle, which we have a lot of support again at that 515, 525 level, but I'm expecting it to consolidate into this up until Friday, and then have a nice push to the upside around Friday, Monday, Tuesday, that time, and be trading at least above $6, but I'm hoping between $8 and $10 by next week. Not financial advice for AMC. I think, again, the earnings is going to have a detrimental effect on the shorts. Explaining it how I already told you, would you want to hold a stock of a short on a stock that keeps continually getting better fundamentally, keeps releasing new products, keeps evolving, has a cult following that is going to buy every single product, and it's costing more and more and more too short the stock. Would you want to keep holding that short? No, I don't think you would. And shorts are going to capitulate, especially with the economy downturning the way it is. And I think a lot of the apes are missing that bigger picture. And with these numbers, with the FTDs and the short interest, when they capitulate, the movie we'll see will be absolutely massive. I cannot wait for new FTD data to come out to show how many FTDs are coming due. As you guys can see, they're just stacking up, stacking up, stacking up, getting more and more FTDs. New FTD data, as you guys can see, new FTD data just came in. 18 million FTDs. 18 million FTDs. Okay, I just refreshed this. I do apologize for the hypeness. These are stacking up even more. And we have FTDs due throughout all of this month. So up into the 17th of this month, guys, FTDs are due T plus 35 closeout date. And this is going to be a major, major problem for the shorts once they realize they have to cover these things, because they're kicking it down the road because they think they're going to erase them all with that reverse split. But once they realize it's not going to happen, they're going to have to cover all of these FTDs. And as you guys can see, they're spiking ridiculously, so much more than we had with the last run up. Guys, if you cannot see the data for your eyes, I do not know what to tell you guys. We are looking extremely good in my personal opinion. New FTD data, 18 million FTDs. Absolute insanity, showing that this stock is going to take off. Short interest at 26.62%. Guys, we are looking extremely good to see a huge short squeeze once the shorts capitulate. And for the reasons that I just stated, I do think we're going to see that. The market is going to have a crash, just like we predicted back in 2020 when the market was on a bull run and no one thought it was possible. The apes said a crash would occur, that AMC would squeeze during this crash, and all of these things are coming to fruition. The banks are tightening up. All of these things are coming to fruition. And I think we are closer than ever to seeing that move. Earnings is going to be absolutely amazing. Guys, this is everything I have for you. So here are the technicals on the short term. Again, I think we're going to consolidate into earnings, maybe see a little bit more downside, not break $5. I think we're going to have a nice push up after earnings and looking into trading into at least above $6, $8 to $10 next week, in my personal opinion. Again, I think the market is going to have a bigger crash. If you look at the psychology of the market, you guys can see that we are in the complacency stage. People think it's going to be bullish and move to the upside, and it's not. As you guys can see, we're going to have a bigger downturn. And a personal way that I think that you can hedge against that is Bitcoin. Bitcoin, as you guys can see, Bitcoin is going up as the market goes down. As the banks crash, it keeps going up. I think it's going to decouple from stocks. SQQQ as well, which goes up indirectly when the market goes down, and AMC itself being a hedge. And I own all three of these for full disclosure. So guys, that is the video. Hopefully you found it informative. I know I did. If you did, go ahead and drop a like. And again, you can check me out on Twitter and Discord for even more Data Zero updates. I talk about my stocks, trades, crypto all day long. So if you find it interesting, go ahead and check it out. Link down in the comment section description below. And as always, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out. All right, guys, that was the video. Hopefully you found it informative. I know I did. If you did, go ahead and drop a like, subscribe for more content like this. And guys, remember, I appreciate each and every one of you that watches to the end of the video, shows love, and drops comments. I really do appreciate that. It means the world to me. And guys, you can check me out on Twitter and Discord for even more updates for Data Zero. And as always, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out.